Okay, so once again, good day everyone. I would just like to make a correction po regarding our progression of topics. So from the last video, I told you that this particular topic, yung institutions and systems, would be topic 2 already. Okay, so I would like to make a correction to that. This is part 3 of topic 1. So meron na tayong tatlong parts. May part 1, part 2, and part 3. And ang part 3 po natin would be the institutions and systems that perpetuate gender biases. Okay, so topic 1 pa rin po ito, but it's now part 3. So, thank you so much for being patient with our lessons po, especially that we are doing this online. So, I hope you still have the patience to listen and still understand the succeeding topics that we will be having. So, part 3 po ito and the last part of our topic 1 on understanding gender, entitled Institutions and Systems that Perpetuate Gender Biases. So sabi ko nga po from the last video, this is very related to gender roles or the roles that we play in our society. So when we talk about systems and institutions that perpetuate gender bias, ibig sabihin po ano po yung mga institusyon or ahensya, okay, may it be in the government or around the world, at yung mga sistema or cultures na nagpapalaganap ng gender bias or the unfair or unequal treatment according to gender. So, unang-una po dyan, meron tayong tinatawag na rigid rules. Ayan. So, sabi nga natin, during our previous video or the part 2, meron tayong tinatawag na gender rules. And these are gender norms which now lead girls and boys, men and women, to rigid rules that limit the development of their potential and the fulfillment of each of their rights. Ayan. So, pag sinabi po kasi natin rigid, okay, or rigid, or in other term, stricto. Meron tayong mga striktong rules or mga striktong gampanin. At ang nangyayari po kapag meron tayong rigid na gender roles, nalilimitahan yung potential ng isang tao. Kasi nga, syempre, sinabi na sa'yo. Okay, yung expectation sa'yo. So, for example, for women, ito ka lang. Okay, dapat dito ka sa bahay, mag-alaga ka ng mga anak, magluto sa bahay, gawaing bahay. Okay, so nalimit na kung ano pa yung pwede sanang ma-achieve ng isang babae. Okay, so yun po yung rigid rules. Pangalawa would be the prejudice and exclusion that people experience. So ito po very related doon sa marginalization natin na tinakal natin dun sa previous video, yung pag-exclude or hindi pagsali ng mga certain people in order to have a decision making. Okay. Next one would be the valuation and discrimination against girls and women. This somehow can still be seen until today, no? When we talk about the valuation, ibig sabihin binababaan yung value ng isang babae o ng isang lalaki. Binababaan yung tingin sa kanila or mababa yung tingin sa kanila just because of their gender. Next one would be culture of dependence for girls and women. Okay, ano pong ibig sabihin ng culture of dependence? Ibig sabihin, simula pa noon, nung ng mga sinauna natin, hindi naman sinauna, pero in our traditional setup before, ang women, okay, or girls, or women in general, mayroong tinatawag na culture of dependence, meaning sila ay dumedepende sa iba for their needs kasi nga they are not capable of producing money or earning money to on their own in order to buy for their needs, 'di ba? Kaya noon parang ang goal ng isang babae or ang girl ng isang woman is to marry someone who is rich or may pera. Okay, in order to be able to provide the needs for her. Dependence. Okay, dumedepende sa iba. Okay, next one. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng culture of homophobia and transphobia. These are two very different things po ha. When we talk about homophobia, this is the term often used to describe discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity and may include verbal and physical abuse. Ibig sabihin po, pag homophobia, people or homophobic people tend to discriminate people who like the same sex. Okay? Ano ba? Ibig sabihin po, may mga tao na dinidiscriminate ang isang tao dahil nga nagkakagusto siya sa isang kapwa niya. For example, kapwa lalaki or kapwa babae. That's homophobia. Okay? Pag transphobia naman po, devaluing naman, bumababa or mababa yung tingin ng mga tao sa mga tao na nagkaroon ng transition, kaya nga transphobia. Ibig sabihin mababa yung tingin ng ibang mga tao sa mga transgender or transsexual people. Okay, kung homophobia, okay, yun ang difference nila ha. Pag homophobia po, discrimination siya on the basis of sexual orientation. Ibig sabihin kung kanino ka attracted, di ba? Dun sa sexual orientation natin. So, ibig sabihin po, dinidiscriminate ka on the basis that gusto mo yung kapwa mo lalaki or kapwa mo babae. Ang transphobia naman po, devaluing and discrimination, mababa ang tingin or dinidiscriminate ang mga tao na nag-undergo ng transition, either transgender or transsexual. Okay, so yun po ang homophobia and transphobia. So, moving on. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na harmful practices. Some harmful practices would include female genitalia mutilation, child marriage, honor killings, domestic child labor, and sexual violence. So these are very gender-related harmful practices as well. Meron kasing mga cultures, I think nasa South Africa po, no? There are cultures na the gateway or yung patunay ng isang womanhood would be genital mutilation. Yung sinusugat yung kanilang vagina or yung genitalia ng mga babae. Kasi yun ang sign ng kanilang maturation. Ibig sabihin, adult na ang mga babae. They can already marry. Okay, pwede na silang ikasal. Pwede na silang gumawa ng mga bagay for adults, adult women. That is what we call genital mutilation. And for some cultures, nangyayari talaga to. Okay, nangyayari. This is a sad reality, no? Na even to the extent na compromise yung human rights and well-being ng mga tao because of a particular cultural practice. Okay? So, for some naman, tawag dyan, ang harmful practice naman for men would be to put, may tinatawag sila parang holen. Meron din yun, I think it's on the same tribe. Okay, ang ginagawa naman, naglalagay sila ng, nakalimutan ko, sorry yung term, pero nilalagyan nila ng parang holen yung penis ng lalaki. Kasi yun po daw yung kanilang sexual maturation. Ibig sabihin, ready na silang magkaroon ng anak. Okay? So, tignan ninyo yung how gender is related on the gravity of cultural practices, no? Ayan. So, next would be gender violence. Ito, I hope you are familiar with gender violence and the movements that cater to the protection and the rights of people affected by this violence. For example, yung ating VAUSI, okay, or yung violence against women and children. Okay, so gender violence is very, very rampant, especially po sa mga low-income countries like the Philippines. Okay, so ang nangyayari dito, men would resort to violence talaga. Okay, we will have a separate discussion later on about gender violence. No? Mas titingnan pa natin siya ng mas maigi, especially regarding the law. Okay, yung iba't ibang laws that govern yung ating gender violence rights. Also, yung iba't ibang ahensya, iba't ibang usapin regarding gender violence. violence. And lastly would be the high-risk practices among young men. Okay, one such practice is excess alcohol consumption. Ayan. So, alcohol consumption would always be associated with high-risk practices. Hindi lang po among men, even among women. Okay. So, ito po yung mga institutions na yun. So, ayan, this is an example po, no, of the different um, systems as well na nagpapalaganap ng hindi lang po gender bias, okay, but also stereotype, prejudice, and discrimination. So, ito yung kanilang pagkakaiba and meron din siyang corresponding examples. So, for example, ayan. So, pag tinawag natin gender bias, it is a thought that supports or opposes one gender in acting and behaving. Ibig sabihin, thought. Okay? Nasa isip pa lang. Pag bias tayo. If we have a gender bias, ibig sabihin thought. Okay? Nasa isip pa lang po natin. Iniisip pa lang natin. Okay? Kaya nga may example dito, the thought that women are better taking care of the household and the children. That's our bias. That's our bias towards women, na they are better at taking care of the household. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, thought, pag-iisip, isang uri ng pag-iisip, okay, regarding a particular gender. Next one would be gender stereotype. It is a positive or negative belief held about a particular gender group. Okay, so ibig sabihin po, pag gender stereotype na, you are trying to compare it doon sa kabuuan ng grupo na yon. Kaya nga yung example dito, the woman who works abandons the family. Okay? Kaya ang tingin mo na or ang stereotype mo na sa isang babae na nagtatrabaho, ang stereotype mo na ang working women ay inaabandon na nila ang mga pamilya nila kasi they chose to work. Okay, ibig sabihin, it's either positive or negative belief toward a particular group. Okay, sa grupo ng mga babae. Kapag ang babae ay nagtrabaho, inaabandon na niya ang kanilang pamilya. Okay? Next one would be gender prejudice. Ayan, negative behavior toward a person based on beliefs, limitation, or misinformation about one gender. Okay. Pag pumunta na po tayo sa gender prejudice, andito na po yung element of behavior. Kung ito kanina, dito sa gender bias and its stereotype, these are thoughts and beliefs. Ibig sabihin nasa isip pa lang. Pagdating sa gender prejudice, it translates now to the behavior. Okay? Toward a person based on beliefs. Papaano ka mag-behave? Papaano ka mag-act towards a person base sa kung ano yung pinapaniwalaan mo or base sa kung ano yung bias mo. Okay? Kaya yung example niya dito, seeing women who work as ambitious women and indirectly concerning women to resign because their main obligation is to take care of the household. Okay? Ibig sabihin, meron na siyang ginawang act. Ano yung ginawa niyang act? Doon sa mga babaeng nakikita niya na ambitious who are working women, anong ginagawa niya? Kino-corner niya. Okay, kino-corner niya na at sinasabi na mag-resign ka na kasi para ka lang sa bahay. You need to take care of the household. Bakit ka nagtatrabaho dito? Okay, makikita natin meron ng sort of harassment, no? Ayan. Ibig sabihin, they are acting upon their beliefs. Hindi na lang siya sa pag-isip, but they are acting on it. Okay, it translates to the behavior towards that person or gender group. And lastly, gender discrimination. Pagdating na natin sa gender discrimination, ito na po ay tawag dyan, grievous misconduct. Bakit? Kasi dito napapasok yung konsepto ng injustice. It is an injustice with difference in attitude and treatment to one of gender group. Kasi concerning na po dito, yung treatment na, papaano ka tratuhin on a consistent and constant basis. It is an injustice. Okay, kaya nga yung example dito, not providing access and opportunities for women to pursue career. Okay, nadi-discriminate na sila, unfair yung treatment. It's an injustice. Bakit? Sa example na ito, ayan, hindi na nabibigyan ng chance or hindi na nabibigyan ng access or oportunidad ang mga kababaihan na magtrabaho. Okay? As compared to, for example, as compared to men, na mas madami silang career opportunities, work opportunities. So, nakikita natin inequality yung treatment and unequal na yung treatment. There's an injustice on the part of those who are aggravated. Okay, so yan po ang pagkakaiba ng apat na ito. So I hope hindi po tayo malilito. These are 4 different things. Kaya you can refer to the examples kung hindi nyo sila maintindihan para mas makita natin kung ano yung kanilang pagkakaiba. Now, in relation to exploring the gender, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na gender dysphoria. Ito ihahabol ko lang, pero ito dapat part to ng part 1 doon sa exploring gender. Understanding gender doon sa SOGI SC. So, ihahabol ko lang siya. So, meron tayong tinatawag na gender dysphoria. This is a clinically significant distress or impairment related to gender incongruence, which may include desire to change primary and or secondary sex characteristics. Not all transgender or gender diverse people experience gender dysphoria. Okay, so dito na po papasok yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na there are systems that perpetuate hindi lang po gender bias but also unhealthy health-related things for gender. And one of that would be the mental health of a person. Ang gender po ay usapin din ng kalusugang pangkaisipan. Bakit? Kasi meron po tayong mga ganitong konsepto, yung tinatawag natin gender dysphoria. Ito yung distress or ito yung uncomfortable feeling para sa isang tao that leads toward impairment, meaning hindi sila makapag-function ng maayos dahil nga po incongruent yung kanilang gender or yung kanilang sex sa kanilang gender. Okay. So for example, yun nga, you are biologically male, but deep inside you, you know that you are feminine and you want to identify as a woman. Okay, hindi po madali yung nararamdaman nila. Ito po yung nararamdaman nila, gender dysphoria, the incongruence between sex and gender. This can be clinically diagnosed, okay, and can be diagnosed as a mental health issue or a mental condition as well. Okay, so if you feel like you are undergoing through this period, na there's just so much confusion, ano ba talaga ako, paano ko ba ina-navigate yung aking gender, ayan, maybe you are going through a period of gender dysphoria. And ang pinakamahalaga, okay, kung nasa ganitong sitwasyon po kayo right now, one of the most important things that you can do, aside from praying, ayan, if you are spiritual and religious, I highly recommend that you pray for your heart, but also it's really important to ask for help. Okay, to ask for help around the people that you are most comfortable with, and most especially ask for help sa ating mga professionals. Okay, if there is a guidance counselor at your school, meron tayong guidance counselor sa school natin. Okay, and if you know any psychologist, you may seek help para malaman ninyo kung paano ba yung pwede ninyong gawin sa inyong situation. And I hope you always remember na even in this very difficult situation that you might be feeling right now, or maybe you know someone who is in this situation, I hope you feel na you're not alone in this. And there are a lot of people who would be willing to listen. Hindi man siguro lahat ay andyan, but meron kahit isang tao na makikinig sa'yo. And maybe that I can be that person, or your friends, your families. Ayan. So I hope you never lose hope, even in this very challenging situation. So that is gender dysphoria. Now, okay, sige. Before natin to i-discuss, uh, I think I will just create a separate video for this one. But basically, this would be your activity for, di ba? And first activity that you will be using now your, um, tawag dyan, your filler notebook. Ayan, so sa filler notebook po natin, you need to do your what we call genderbread person. Genderbread person po nakalagay dyan. Sa genderbread na yan, ito, parang gingerbread. Genderbread siya. Kung ano yung ating soji. Okay, so meron po tayong makikita dito sa gilid na may mga arrow. You just have to mark, okay, kung saan po kayo dyan sa scale na yan. Okay, so meron naman pong instructions dito. You don't have to draw the genderbread particularly, but please try to draw the arrows. Tapos imamarka po ninyo kung saan kayo na scale dyan. So let me show you an example. Ayan. So, an example would be, kahit ito lang po yung part na ilalagay natin sa ating filler notebook, itong part ng may mga boxes at may mga arrows. Ayan, you just have to draw it as well. Ayan. So, medyo, pwede kayong maging creative. You can use different colors or different, okay, so, ito pong part nito, you just have to mark, pwedeng star, pwedeng heart, depende sa inyo kung paano nyo siya imamarka. So, for example, kung ang gender identity nyo, you identify as woman, or a lady or a girl, imamarka nyo lang kasi ito yung papunta sa womanness. Ito naman yung sa manness. So, i-ano nyo lang siya, parang i-scale nyo lang po siya. Ayan. So, please do the SOGI. So, unang-una, of course, your sexual orientation, di ba? SOGI. So, ang maunang box po would be sexual orientation. Ito yon sa baba. Yan. And then, gender identity. Ayan, gender identity. Then, your gender expression. And then, your SC, or your sexual characteristics, or your biological sex. Okay, yan po yung ating sample. Okay, so I will be sending later on sa GC natin yung guide questions kasi meron yung questions that you need to answer as well sa baba. But for now, please do the genderbread person. I will try to make a separate video, but for the meantime, if you want to already start, you can now do the genderbread person. This is your activity 1 for gender and society. So doon po sa ating pong filler notebook, for example, ito. Doon po sa upper, yan. Sa upper left, please put Sa upper left po, please put yung activity 1. Ayan, pakilagay po activity 1, genderbread person. Tapos doon naman sa tapat niya sa kabila, sa may right side would be the date na ginawa niyo yung activity. Okay, so regarding the submission, sabi ko nga po, i-collect ko po once a week yung inyong mga filler notebook so that I can check if you're really doing the activities. Ayan. So, yun po yung ating first activity, the genderbread person for gender and society. So, I hope that is clear. If you have any questions later on, you may just comment doon sa ating comment section para ma-clarify din natin kung ano yung questions na yun. So, basically, the deadline of this would be within the week next week. So, I will just post updates regarding that one. So, that ends topic 1, understanding gender. So, ito na yung last part, no? Part 3 na siya. So, I hope you were able to learn something and we are able to clarify what gender is. Okay, kung ano ba siya sa usapin ng ating society or ng ating lipunan. Okay, so stay tuned for topic 2. We will be starting next week for our topic 2, and I will be posting updates regarding quizzes and other activities that you may need to complete. But for now, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day, everyone. Thank you so much, and God bless. Stay safe. Bye bye.